Alrighty, so probably time for a Kahoot. So this recaps the topics that we've done so far in the unit. So we can just play that. So we've looked at the models of memory and the studies. Now we're looking at one last study that can support applications of the working memory model. So it's another study and it's showing the strengths of the working memory model. And what we're looking at here is working memory training. So computer game training that might help to improve attention. So some more computer games, they can go to CogFit. They need Adobe Flash Player or a device that has that. And this is one of the sources of these video games that are designed specifically for improving memory. You can go to Luminosity, which is I think who Klingberg, the researcher, works for, but you have to make an account, so that's why I didn't include it here. But the link is in the unit plan if you want it. Think Pescia, low working memory capacity is associated with poor attention, and then try and get students to think about why these things might be correlated. So actually really trying to put themselves in the shoes or in the situation of a student with poor working memory capacity, so they can't hold a lot of information in there, and then why that might be linked to poor attention, say, in the classroom. And so what we're really trying to get here is them to get inside the minds of these people with these issues, and again making the abstract a little bit more concrete by thinking about real life examples. And we can use that here with this is just a little problem solver, Brian's attention problems. There's a summary of him in the workbook, and it's sort of, this is a bit of a fictional character, and then they try and think, okay, why am I here having these problems? This Brian here just helps make it a little bit more concrete as well. Klingberg himself does a good TED Talk where he explains the methodology of his studies, and he goes into some good detail. So the focus questions are designed to get students to write notes about his methodologies and what happens. So I think it's if I can get the actual researcher to explain their own study, I mean, obviously I go for that one. This is why I like these talks much better than me standing up there and trying to explain it. And so these are the two questions for the focus questions are simply this: what were the methods and results, and how could computer games improve working memory capacity? And that's the answer to today's guiding question. And then if they need help, they can use the textbook. And in the table, in the workbook, I put one of these tables, models of memory review, and so they can try and put a diagram, just some key terms, studies, strengths, limitations. And so filling out things like this in the workbook is going to make for really good review notes. And what I tried to do was double-side them, or at least I tried to put them in the workbook in a way so that they could rip out easily and they could be added into other notes. So I think there's one table as well with evaluating treatments and etiologies where they're back to back, so you can pull it out and it makes for just easier review. So I tried to keep that in mind when designing the workbook for exam revision. Okay, and maybe you want to do an exit ticket here if you like, but you might not because it's a pretty full-on lesson. But again, just thinking about students to applying what we learn in class in real life situations. And that is the end of the working memory model. So then we go into the last cognitive topic in this unit, which is the effects of emotion on cognition.